What's up, guys? Today I'm going to bring you the first of the FIFA 19 patch notes. So this is the first FIFA title update addressed from the 2nd of October, which would have been out. I think it was late last night they did this. So anyway, we're going to go through this. This post is from at EA Andy, who is the EA community manager, as you can see right here. So it's got, hey FIFA fans, the first title update for FIFA 19 is now available and includes the changes below. So in the gameplay section, we've got, due to a community feedback, we're planning on limiting changes to gameplay and only making targeted fixes in an effort to keep the balance and feel of the game consistent while we continue to gather feedback from players. So we've addressed the following issue. The power bar for set piece free kicks in an online match was sometimes incorrectly going to 100% when the player had requested less power. So some of you might realise when you've been taking free kicks, you may have tapped like one bar to curve it over the wall and it's blasted it into the stands, which has been really annoying. So they fixed that. Sometimes when the player requests a regular shot with the laces, they'll get an inside the foot shot. So anytime you were outside of the box and you went for just like an ordinary shot, a lot of the time your player would shape up and do a finesse straight down the middle. So that's fixed. And yeah, that animation always resulted in a lot less power. The worst player for me was Granit Xhaka with that. I use him as a sub sometimes, the inform. So hopefully that'll be good to see. So traits. They've published another article that covers traits in 19, which is in this one here. So I may make another video on that. So they've addressed the following issues. Some traits that no longer had any functionality in gameplay were still displaying in the front end. Some traits that did have functionality in the gameplay were not displaying in the front end. Added for CPU and AI only to the names of traits that only have an effect on players when they are controlled by the CPU AI. The CPU plays the game as you would, limited by the same input restrictions that a human player has. This means that the CPU team has an active player just like you do, which we call the CPU AI controlled player. A CPU AI player exists in the following circumstances. On a team with no human players, for example, the CPU controlled team in squad battles. On a team with human players. So basically, I think what they're kind of saying is that they may have toned down the AI a little bit. Because I know squad battles for me is ridiculous. Last year, Legendary was far too easy, winning 5-0, 5-0, 5-0. But this year it seems ridiculously hard. I'm glad there's an update in the difficulty, but it's become like near impossible to win your games and score really highly. For me personally. Anyway, in Ultimate Team, they've addressed the following issues. In Rivals, some reward options contained 4 rewards, but only 3 were displaying. So this was only a visual issue, which hopefully they fixed. I haven't actually looked at that yet, but that would be a good idea to have a look at. Trying to swap duplicate items from the new items screen would sometimes cause an error message, which, yeah, and you get the undefined image. They fixed that, hopefully, now, which means you haven't got to back in, back out, and do all that sort of stupid stuff. Foot coin balances were sometimes not visually updating properly, which is really frustrating, meaning your bids were a bit awkward. This, again, was only a visual issue. I also had an issue where sometimes I'd have no coins at all in my club, which was frustrating. But then you back out, back in, and it goes again. Stability issue that would sometimes occur in single-player seasons if the player had forfeited the previous match. Why would you forfeit in single-player seasons? Squad building challenges rewards that provided a foot item required logging in and out of foot before you could claim them. Visual issue where a player would sometimes disappear during a pack opening walkout animation. Some walkout animations were causing a player to warp into place. Country graphic displayed in squad battles for a squad from India were incorrect. The Rivals post-match weekly score summary was displaying oddly if the player's rank had changed while they were playing the previous match. In the Journey, they've addressed the following issues. Customization of Alex Hunter was incorrectly displayed. Updated the mentor selection screen. The mentor rating was not present in the training flow. Play the game was incorrectly triggered during the opening of Journey. The ball went missing from Jim Hunter's hands if he scored a hat-trick during the opening of the Journey. Interesting. Stability issue during the post-match highlights following a match of Kim Hunter in Chapter 2. Stability issue when switching to Kim Hunter at the start of Chapter 4. Stability issue after completing a training drill of Kim Hunter. Purchasing the weak foot trait for Kim Hunter was defaulting her weak foot rating to 3 stars. Getting a red card in Danny Williams' first match was still allowing him to be a sub in the second. Danny Williams got 2 yellow cards in the first match. He was banned for more than 1 game. One of Danny Williams' teammates was missing his body during a cutscene. Okay, as you do. The matches played stat for Alex Hunter and Danny Williams was sometimes inaccurate. Sometimes Danny would be put in the starting lineup even when he had a late sub rating. The rival icon is missing in a match where Alex Hunter is playing Danny Williams. Online modes address the following issues. Attempting to play a Pro Clubs friendly match after playing a Co-op Seasons match would result in one player from your team being unable to proceed into the Pro Clubs match. Attempting to play an online Seasons or online friendlies match after playing a Pro Clubs friendly match would result in a squad mismatch error. Pro Clubs friendly matches were showing the end of match flow screens from a Pro Club League match. This is purely visual. Incorrect player model displays briefly in the practice arena before a Pro Clubs match. Brief image of a stadium was displaying when exiting a Pro Clubs drop-in match. Stability issue in Pro Clubs after swapping controller multiple times. In career mode, they've addressed the following. When playing as a team that qualifies for either the Champions League or Europa League through the playoffs, the championship match was scheduled on the same day as the final league match. This fix will not affect existing save files. Remove the following traits from the list of player career traits as they no longer had an in-game function. Driven pass, acrobatic clearance, diving header, fancy flicks, goalkeeper up for corners. In player career, some incorrect accomplishments were displaying after playing the first match of your career. Certain player swap transfers were being rejected due to incorrect budget calculations. The block offer options was not appearing in some situation. News was not properly displaying when a player is acquired in transfer that included a player swap. News articles on Player of the Month awards were displaying the incorrect month. The visual customizations to Alex Hunter and Danny Williams were not being properly displayed during negotiation scenes in career mode. Petr Cech was wearing his helmet. That was the funniest one. We've now found him a tie. That's brilliant. That's the best one. Address the following issues. Stability issue in the team management screens while playing in Arabic. Sometimes when making a complicated series of squad changes in the team management screen, the wrong players were substituted off. This is for kickoff mode, by the way. Sometimes when making a complicated series of squad changes in the team management screens, you're unable to back out on the screens. Reduce the number of tutorial screens present in the kickoff tutorial. For game modes, they have addressed the following. A player's individual attributes were not properly loading in the first attempt at skill game. This only impacted skill games and can be resolved by restarting or retrying the skill game. Audio made the following changes. Added audio banter regarding the previous FIFA World Cup. Audio banter for a number of teams, number of stadiums, and number of team matchups. Adjusted the sound effects that play during the negotiation scenes in career mode. Turned the audio that plays after a goal to provide more unique audio. Tuned the audio that plays during foot pack opening animations. Addressed the following issues. Wrong portion of the Champions League anthem was played during the player lineups. Missing audio for Champions League matches in some stadiums. Wrong audio playing during the warm-up scenes. Incorrect audio playing at the end of the Champions League group stage if you win the second match after losing the first. Wrong audio sometimes playing when scoring a volley goal off a cross. Audio saying that a shot was well off target when it didn't miss by much. An issue with the audio that played before a Manchester derby. Chinese Super League team names were not being mentioned in an intro. Missing audio in the journey for Kim Hunter and Alex Hunter. Wrong audio in the journey for Danny Williams. Player to watch audio sometimes not playing despite the overlay showing. Audio incorrectly playing in an 11v11 training match and a penalty is given. Visual presentation made the following changes. Added UEFA Super Cup overlay package to the game. Added a new goal celebration for Jesse Lingard. Run to the cameras as Jesse Lingard to show that off. Maybe we'll have to do that soon. Updates to some of the ad boards displayed in the stadium. Address the following issues. Neymar's name was incorrectly spelled as Junior. There you go. That's something I was saying, and it's been fixed. Corrected some instances of kit clashing involving the referee. That'd be great because that's another thing that I put forward in the Game Changer Discord. Post-goal replays were not showing the full scoring sequence. Again, that was mentioned by various people. An issue where the ball was rarely warping around the pitch after kickoff. Free agents were not wearing the proper free agent kit when viewed in edit teams. Incorrect team crests were displaying on the player benches in the RCDE stadium. Upgrade the kits to be worn by some of the players in the TIFO stadium. Graphical corruption in the English Football League Championship badge when displayed on a kit. Graphical corruption in the English Champions League trophy when displayed in game. TIFOs, not quite sure what that is, were appearing on the wrong side of the stadium for some teams. Liga NOS team Belenenses was being displayed as just Belenenses. Oh, sorry, OS Belenenses is what I should have said then. Updates were also made to the team crest and to the banners and flags that display in the stadium. Buenos Aires was defaulting to the incorrect stadium. Sometimes the card or injury drop-down notifications were not triggered following a card or injury. Long player names are missing or cut off in the match details overlay for an FA Cup game. Penalty scoreboard didn't show the team's kit colours when playing an English Premier League match. Sometimes the match details overlay was displaying too briefly at half-time at the end of the match. Aggregate score was missing from the score clocks for La Liga, English Premier League and Bundesliga. Penalty results were missing from the match details overlay when playing in the MLS. The league table drop down was only showing the top team's points total in La Liga. The default skill game's camera was sometimes clipping through the fence. The camera angles used for a women's match were incorrect during the player lineup. The camera was sometimes being obstructed in a number of stadiums. Resolved clipping issues in a number of stadiums. Placeholder text was present on some ad boards. The Bundesliga 2 logo was appearing during a substitution in a Bundesliga match. And then they just sign off and thank everyone for the feedback. So there's a lot of changes, like a hell of a lot of changes. Not an awful lot to the gameplay side of things. Mainly just they've sorted like the set piece for free kicks and the outside of the box kind of shot where they would finesse it terribly and weakly. Hopefully this kind of gives you guys an update of what's going on. These pitch notes are fantastic. Definitely read them if you get a chance. I'll try and put out a video each time there's some patch notes. So if you guys want to come back and find out, I'll try and upload them every time. Thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want me to keep going through these, and I'll do them every time. Let me know what you think of some of the issues. If you've got any issues as well, drop them in the comments. Send them to me on Twitter. As I'm an EA Game Changer, I'm in constant talks with them to get things like this improved. So yeah, I'll see you soon.